Hi, welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast slash FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitch, and geeky. I'm Cece, and I'm glad to have you today. Today is Sunday, the 30th of August, 2020, and this is Stitch With Me, episode 20. So I'm going to be continuing to work on my Baba Black Sheep by the Prairie Schooler that was a gift from Michelle Bindi Stitchy. And I'm stitching it on an 18 count Ada that was dyed hot pink by Erin 2 Martini Stitcher. And I'm using different floss colors. I didn't get them all out because obviously those colors would not have worked on that fabric. So, trying to get my chart to where I can see it. I'm still getting used to this new setup with the kind of boom arm type thing, but we're gonna make it work. A big welcome back to all returning viewers and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. So, if you are new here, typically I record these Stitch With Me's on Mondays, but I told y'all last week that I'm going to be going back to school to become an ASL interpreter, American Sign Language, if you're not from the U.S. And so I need to adjust things a little bit. And so I'm recording this on Sunday afternoon, and it will still go live on Monday, but it just helps with my weekday schedule if I do this way instead. And I don't think it will matter to y'all since you'll still get it the same day, so that you have been getting it. So, and then on Thursdays, my 20-year-old and I record our weekly full-length podcast FlossTube episode. I'm looking at the pattern. I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Okay, it's the exact same as above. Okay. Yeah. So today is a special day. 8 years ago today, August the 30th, 2012, Dammy and I released our very first podcast episode. So today is our 8th podiversary. It has definitely been a journey, and things have changed over the years. When we started recording, we were living in Texas, and I can remember sitting in front of a bedroom closet door recording, because that was the best background to record with. And gosh, the content has definitely changed some as we adjusted and learned and grew. And then we took you with us to Scotland, where we lived in Edinburgh for 4 years, and got to record in some really fun places like a castle, and got to take you with us on some of our tourist trips, vacations that we went on while we lived there. And then we were in California for a few months when we came back to the U.S. And then now we are up here in Washington State, and we've been here almost 3 years. I cannot believe it's been 3 years since we moved back to the U.S. from Scotland. So I guess it makes sense because Dammy will be starting their junior year of college in just a couple of weeks, 2 weeks from tomorrow, and I start my classes 3 weeks from tomorrow. And okay, let me look at the pattern again. I've got my pattern up here, hopefully where you can't see it. Okay, is this the same? No, it's a little different. Okay. Yeah, when we came back to the States, Dammy took a gap year while we figured out where we were going to be, and then They have completed 2 years at Seattle Pacific University and will be moving back in just a couple weeks. And this year they are sharing an on-campus apartment with three theater students. So while I'm nervous for them to go back, I know that it's exciting. It's exciting because, Dammy came home for spring break, and we didn't expect what happened to happen. Nobody did. Nobody expected this to be where we are. But I know that Dammy will be very safe, and I just hope that it's an amazing year for them, and that things can get into a sense of normalcy soon for all of us. So, yeah. Yeah, so 8 years. 8 years we have been doing this, and things are going to have to change up a little bit when Dammy goes back to school. We'll talk about that more in detail on this week's full-length episode. We'll still be recording, but things are going to change a little bit, and we're excited to see where things continue to go, and just thankful for the community that we've built, the friendships we've made, the collaborations we've been able to do, the business we built, designing patterns, and it's just when we started podcasting, we could never have imagined what amazing blessings have been brought into our lives just by sitting down and recording a video for y'all almost every week. We've missed a few, but not many, and just sharing what we're working on, and just happy, positive things in our lives, and doing alongs, and it's been such an amazing journey. So, okay, let's see where we're at here, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the row that I do this. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to think what is going on. So Russ is making us a special meal. We're going to have an early dinner. We just had kind of a snack lunch, and going to have an early dinner of steak and baked potatoes and rolls. We already ate the cake that we had on the regular, our normal full-length episode this week, but that's all right. Okay, so 1, 2, skip 1, 2, skip 1, 3. Okay. Yeah, so we'll be doing that a little bit later today, and yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else that I was going to talk about before we jump into some prompts. I don't think so. I'll stop recording probably and think of something, but that's how life is. That's just how life is. Okay, well, let's do, this is 300 Writing Prompts, which is a book that I got from Barnes & Noble, thinking I would journal from it, but instead I have used it to do hashtag CC Stitch With Me prompts. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I did that last week. Okay, here we go. If you woke up tomorrow and discovered that everything in life was now free, what is the first thing you would do? I would hop on a plane and go visit my bestie and her family in England. And after spending time with them, hopefully the weather would have cooled down enough that we could go visit family. They live in, my family lives in Louisiana, and Russ's family lives in Texas, and I cannot handle the heat and humidity there. It causes my fibromyalgia to go crazy. So need to wait for it to cool down some. Does anybody else do this thing where they are trying to get their floss untwisted? Yeah, and then after that, probably vacation type thing. I would love to go, like y'all, I think I've talked about on here before, like my dream vacation is to go to Prince Edward Island. I'm a huge Anne of Green Gables fan, so yeah, that is probably what I would do, is travel, do some traveling, see people that that we love, and then do a little vacation-y thing. So yeah. If this week had a theme to it, what would yours be? So I'm taking this as like the week up till ending today, not like the week ahead. It would be a mix of frustration and gratitude for community. I'm still fighting Instagram. Yeah. It's a mess. I'm not going to go into it, but so there's been frustration there with that whole situation. Okay, so I need to go in one. Right. Hold on. I'm checking this. Yes, okay. But there's also been lots of in our Facebook group. There has been such kind words and support and kindness about our podiversary and just participation in our summertime owl that is coming to an end. That's coming to an end tomorrow, and the read along, and friends who have reached out, not on social media or like in private messages, just with kind words and support and ideas and things like that. So it's also been a busy week as I continue to move patterns off of Ravelry. I think I am in the home stretch, y'all. I think I have 5 more patterns that just need to be moved over. And then I have 5 patterns that need to be reformatted before they can be moved over. And then 2 ebooks that need to be moved over, but they can't be moved over until the reformatting happens. So my goal for tomorrow is going to be to get the remaining 5 that are just needing to be moved over done. And then depending on what the rest of my day, how it falls, I would love to also get at least 1 pattern reformatted. So none of this is like hard work. It's just time consuming work. So it's been very busy trying to get all of that taken care of and moved over. And thanks to those of you who have already bought patterns from us on Etsy and PayHip. We appreciate your support. Yeah, so that has been my week. Frustration, positive gratitude, support, and busy. Busy. Okay, let's see. Whew, I'm so sorry, I just shook the camera. Okay, what do you have to do today that you really would rather not do? I've actually already done it. Exercise. I do not enjoy exercise at all. And it's physically difficult because of the fibromyalgia. But I know I need to do it because I know I'm in even more pain when I don't move my body. So I am working on increasing my steps that I walk, and I'm just walking indoors in place. I put on a podcast or whatever and walk in place. I'm building up my steps I'm increasing my goal by 100 steps a week. So yeah, but I was never really the exercise type. Now I do miss running though, which is, I know is weird to say, but I don't know, there was just such a rhythm to it that I almost feel like, I don't know that I've ever made this connection before, but the rhythm that I find in knitting is similar to the rhythm that I had when I was running. Does that make sense at all? Just the, I mean, I have tattooed on my arm. I don't know. Let's see if I can I don't know if y'all can be able to see it. It's at a weird angle, but it says, "It doesn't matter what I'm knitting. I'm just knitting to knit." And then upside down it says pearl. This is a Twofold tattoo because it's a quote from Gilmore Girls, which is like my favorite TV show ever. You know what? I'm going to tink back because I'll show you why. I don't have enough thread on this needle to finish this row, but it is the last row of this bag. So if I tink back here and I start making full X's, then when I join this is stuck a little bit. When I add the new piece of floss, I can just continue across and start the next bag right here. Okay, now what's going on here, you guys? It looks like I may have actually it looks like there might be a knot in it. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. So I'm going to tink back here to the first stitch. And that way I can keep from having to join the new floss and then cut it and then rejoin the new floss. So, okay, where was I? What was I talking about? Oh, exercise. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of exercise. I wish that I had good access to a pool because I do like swimming. And swimming is actually very, very good for people with fibromyalgia because of the weightlessness of the water. But I don't, none of us, I don't think, have access to that unless you have your own pool with the pandemic. So I do like to swim. But yeah. So good grief. What did I do? I unthreaded the... It's because one strand is longer than the other, even though they're the same when I start stitching. For some reason, if anybody can like tell me why that happens. So I try to make my walking like something to look forward to, with like listening to an audiobook or a podcast or something, so that I've got something enjoyable that I can associate with it. Yeah, but in trying to prep my routine or adjust my routine for when classes start, I've been pushing my wake up time back by 5 minutes every couple of days. And my plan is when school starts that I will get up early enough to have breakfast, and then get my walking in so that I can get a shower before I work, and then have class. So that is my plan. So hopefully I will be able to adjust to that and make it work, and continue to do what is healthy for my body and what my body needs, even though I don't enjoy it. We all have to do things we don't enjoy doing, though, don't we? Unfortunately. Okay, let's get this loop started here. Oops. Go in there. There we go. All right. Some of these are like things that either I don't have, some of the prompts are things that either I don't like really have a connection to answer them, or are too personal. I mean, I know we are pretty open about most things, but there's things still that are too personal. So that's why I'm skipping over some of the prompts. Okay, let's see. Oh. Snakes. Interesting or creepy? Why? If you've watched the show for very long at all, you know the answer to that is creepy. I don't even like seeing snakes on television or movies. I say one of my favorite actors' lines, Harrison Ford from Indiana Jones, why does it always have to be snakes? And I will, if we're watching something that has a snake in it, I will turn away and not watch it and wait for them to tell me that it's safe to watch again, because I just cannot do snakes. When in the past gone to the zoo, I won't go in the reptile house. They just scare the crap out of me. I don't know if I've ever told this story on the podcast. I might have. If so, well, you're hearing it again. So when I was in high school, my family and I lived in Carlsbad, New Mexico, home of the Carlsbad Caverns. Thusly, our school mascot was cavemen and cavewomen. How about that? So, but that area, okay, I've got to move. I'm using my mouse to hold down the pattern up here because we have fans going because it's warm, and my pattern kept blowing away. So I set my mouse down on it, my computer mouse, because I record my face on my computer, and then this camera is my phone. So I needed to move the mouse over so I could see the next ad. It's getting started here. Okay, Carlsbad, New Mexico, desert. And the house that we lived in was right next to a hill that was that when you drove up and on it was part of the, oh crap, what did they call it? It was like a thing where you could like go and see like fossils and like the animals, the types of animals that live in that area and all that. And there was like, you could like drive living, I think it's called the Living Desert, maybe. Anyway, so we lived like right backed up onto that. Okay, let's see. I need to skip. Look at that, y'all. I finished the second bag of pool. Okay, so we got to do one more bag that has the W in it. Okay, so 9 stitches. Yeah, so our house was like right at the base of that hill where the I think it was called the Living Desert was. And so you get animals. So in our house, the laundry room was in the garage, and in the laundry room there was built in this like open shelving unit, and one of the shelves, for some reason, I still don't know to this day why it had this, but there was a cutout in it, and it had like a wire mesh basket in it. You can guess maybe where this story is going. So my sister, who is a little over 3 years younger than me, had gone out to move the laundry. She'd either gone out to move the laundry from the washer to the dryer or get the clothes out of the dryer, one of the two. And she came back in and was like, "There's a weird noise out there." And so my dad went out. Come to find out, in that wire mesh basket was a live rattlesnake. So I'm pretty sure we called animal control to deal with it. I don't think my dad dealt with it. I think we called animal control. But anyway, terrifying. Terrifying. How many stitches did I say I needed to do, y'all? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be 9. We're going to finish up this row and we're going to call it a day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yes, I am terrified of snakes. No, I don't want to see them on the screen. I don't want to see them in real life. No. CC and snakes do not mix. So, well, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the chat and answering some prompts there. If you have a podcast or FlossTube and would like to answer the questions, just please include hashtag CC Stitch With Me prompts in your description, because that lets me see who else is doing this. Or if you don't have a podcast or FlossTube and would like to answer the questions, feel free to comment in the comments on YouTube or in the Facebook group, which is where our community has moved, facebook.com/groups/GGKCS. And yeah, so you can find us online at GGKCS.com. And there you will find links to everywhere else we are online. Dammy usually says this. I have to think about it. I always have to stop and think about it. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Facebook groups, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We cross-post everything on Twitter. Yeah, and all the other places. So, I hope you've enjoyed your time with me today. I hope y'all have a lovely, lovely week ahead, and we will be back with you on our Thursday, your Friday, with our full-length episode. Until then, happy crafting, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye.